Hello, Espers and Ethereals, my name is TV Cyan, and welcome back to Final Fantasy VI Advance. If you remember last time, we managed to make our way down the river lathe, and there's the save glitch. There we go, which is a little lag that happens every time we save, because I'm playing this on an emulator, I think. We made our way down the river lathe, and which is named for a legendary river in German mythology, I think, where you drink the waters and you forget things. I may be getting that completely wrong. It's named for some legendary river, I think, where we split the party, and we just had Locke escape from South Figaro, where he met up with an imperial general who he managed to recruit with very little fuss. And now we can choose between Sabin's story or Bannon, Edgar, and Terra, the three who were left on the raft. And we are going to choose Sabin last, as I said last time, for reasons that I hope will become apparent. Fleeing the Empire's troops, Bannon, Edgar, and Terra ride the rapids towards Narshe, but the going won't be easy. Now, this bit of the story, it's not a lot to it. It's more of the river running. I've turned the volume of the game audio down a little bit, but I am open to feedback from the comments because this emulator is a little loud, I think. In fact, let me turn it down a little bit more just in case. Because I felt like it was a little loud last time. So I'm turning it down now. And that's the trouble with, like, last time I recorded 3 videos in one go, and I'm probably going to do the same now, because that's just the most efficient way to do something like this. But it also means that, like, sometimes it's kind of hard to make adjustments in the middle of it. I love this battle music. And again, I'm always a little, I wish I could have the translation of the Game Boy Advance version along with the quality of life changes and the bug fixes, but also the music from the SNES version. Like, that's the thing I want. I hope someone mods that into something at some point, because that will be truly lovely. And I wonder, have any of you heard, like, Nobuo Uematsu, the dude who did most of the music for the Final Fantasy games? Obviously, he's put out a ton of music besides this, and he's got a band called the Black Mages, which is a rock band, like a serious rock band that he runs with a couple of his friends, where he plays rock versions of Final Fantasy music. And his version of the battle theme and boss music theme from this game is just absolutely lovely. Okay. Let's just do that. Because that's free healing. You're that Imperial officer from before. Please, I can explain. Get out of here now, or you'll regret it. Let's not get hasty here. I'm King Edgar of Figaro. Liar! Well, that didn't work. My goodness. And that, my friends, is why I can't stand men. It's like they don't even have ears. The irony, Edgar. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. Fortunately, if you're a little bit attentive to how the game worked at the start, and this is one of the things I love, is that it does excellent setup and payoff. When Locke first rescued me, we came out of the mines right around here. He fiddled with something. Yes, he told me. Twist this stone like so, and... which is something that I very much like about Final Fantasy VI. It really does a great job of setting stuff up, and then keep, like, paying off on a lot of things that are set up in advance later on down the line. It's something it does often, and it's something it does very consistently. And that's something that helps the world feel, like, and the story and the world feel very well conceived and, like, very whole. Like, oh, we're returning to this thing that was... Okay, because it gives the gives the audience like something I see, especially fantasy stories sometimes get wrong, or well, not wrong because it's not wrong. It's just a structural and stylistic choice, is to set up a whole million billion bunch of things and introduce all these cool new concepts and things, and places, but then only really exploring them or interacting with them one time. This is something that One Piece has a bit of a bad habit of doing. Like, that's also part of its episodic format, but you know, the pirate crew go to an island and, oh, there's a bad man on the island, so we go on an adventure and we save some people, and then they move on to another island. And a lot of the stuff that's sort of introduced and raised on the one island adventure is then sort of kind of shoved, just ignored. It doesn't really come back. Like, they make friends with a bunch of people, and we shall see them one day soon, and then they just disappear into the background and they're never heard from again. One Piece has been better than most long-running shonen anime at still bringing, like, former characters back, and, like, have like, old supporting characters show up at later points, but is that kind of thing of, I have this really cool idea for a concept, I'm going to introduce it in my story, and then... oh, I need to pay attention to this. Right, it's that down, right? You have to follow that one, otherwise it takes you into a fighting counter. This must be the place. What place? There's a room in here they used to test applicants to the city guards. We should be fine as long as we follow the light. If we make a mistake, lights will surround us. Then we'll have to tag the glimmering orange light to proceed. I'm just gonna do this, then I'm gonna return to the point I was making. Because I fucked this up so many times you wouldn't believe. Okay, thank God. But as I was saying, like, a lot of fantasy and sci-fi stories do this too, by the way, but a lot of fantasy stories, they introduce a whole bunch of concepts, but then they're only introduced and explored one time, and then they're never returned to, and so they can feel kind of inconsequential, ephemeral, like they feel like they don't really matter that much to the whole of the story. And that's something that Final Fantasy VI as a game does really well, is that it manages to return to a lot of its subject matter over and over again. I'm going to show you something. Again, something that you don't normally see. This is the room where we fought that large group of enemies proceeding towards us, and we were helped by the Moogles. Well, if you proceed all the way through that room... Moogles! And they have the best music theme in the game. And there is... there's a treasure chest down here, I think. Yes. And maybe one over here also, if I'm not missing my guess. No, that's just the way out, right? Yeah, it takes you out to here. Yeah, it just basically set myself back a whole bunch of steps. But, the Moogles are there, and they have the best musical theme in the game. And I actually forgot to show you something in there. I didn't actually mean to leave. So, we'll have to go back. I'll just hurry that along a little bit. Most of the Moogles are walking around, and they'll all just say, "Whoop-hoo." But this one says, "Whoop-hoo." And that is because he is Mog, and he will show up later in our adventure. But the only thing that distinguishes him from the others is that he says a slightly different thing and he stands still. But that is him. So there's that. Just wanted to show you that, like, that's a thing. And again, this is what I love so much about older Final Fantasy games, is that you can just go places like this and see things that are completely optional and there's not much point to it. Like, it doesn't do is you don't get any items unless you open the treasure chest, and it doesn't advance the story, and it's not really important, and the items you can get there aren't that great, but you can do it. And then later on in the game, when the Mughals become relevant again all of a sudden, it feels like, I see. And that's something that I like about older Final Fantasy games in particular, is that they're very good at doing it. Like Final Fantasy IV, while its story is less good about it, it still does a really great job of introducing a cast of characters and then just keeping them incredibly relevant for the whole game. This was one of the things I had trouble with in Final Fantasy 15 is they, in that game, and we get the glitch. There it is. One of the things that game does is it sort of tries to introduce a cast. I mean, that game is just also horribly unfinished. Let's start there. But it tries to introduce a cast of characters, NPC characters, like characters who aren't part of the main party, and kind of bring them back. But it also does an absolutely, like, it tends to tie side quests to them, and, like, they give you tasks or things to do. And they don't just exist as part of the world, they exist as part of the progression system, basically. And that's something that I've always I always feel a little bad about fantasy games like RPGs and stuff, when characters basically exist for the sole purpose of, like, giving you a mission or giving you an item, or, like, when they are always tied into the gameplay systems somehow. Like, they give you XP, they give you... and they never really seem to exist just for their own sake. That's something I've always loved about older RPGs especially, is that they have that. And I found it missing from later games especially. And that's, like, partly because, of course, it's more rewarding to the player in an objective sense. I should have read that dialogue out loud. It's more rewarding to the player in an objective sense if there is a reward for doing stuff, but, you know, maybe it feels less cohesive to me when the world doesn't exist just for its own sake always. Anyway, Arvis, how do things stand here in Narshe? Same as always, the town's neutral. I tried to convince them to side with the returners, but there's no use. Of course, maybe with you and the King of Figaro here. The townspeople. Everyone's been a little on edge since the Esper was discovered. We believe Terra may be able to help us get answers to our questions about the Esper. Well, the townspeople are quite curious about it as well. If we approach them in the right way, there's a good chance they'll agree to let us see it. That Esper is either going to save us, or dig us an early grave. And so we move on to the third scenario. Finally, we get to see what happens to Sabin, and I get to explain why I have been putting him off in particular. But first, another save glitch. Maybe? Anytime now. No? Apparently it didn't happen this time. It's not consistent. What dire fate has befallen Sabin, who leapt from the raft after the fight with Ultras? Well, ended up here. How strange. But, oh hey! A character we know. Oh, damn it. That guy's a merchant. You kind of have to catch him before he leaves. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. That's actually not great, because Sabin is a little bit underpowered to be fighting these guys alone. Oh well, as long as you can take him out with one hit, it's fine. Yeah, that's more damage than I'm willing to take, really. Let's just talk. Who are you? Howdy there! I run a mobile item shop of sorts around these parts. Anyone around here knows me. You're, not from around here, are you? Well, no matter. Need anything? I do, in fact, need anything, yes. I need shuriken. 30 will be enough. Let's make it an even 50. And I want 5 invisibility scrolls and 5 shadow scrolls, just in case. I have Phoenix Downs. I could probably stock up on tents a little bit. There. See you around! Don't remember if there's anything in the barrels. Nope. So Shadow there is the reason why we've been putting off Sabin's scenario. Because he's going to join us. Hopefully. You another traveler? You don't happen to know how to get to Narshe, do you? I got separated from my friends.
The Empire has set up camp just beyond the forest to the east.
The Empire? What are they doing here?
They seem to have their eyes on Doma Castle.
So Doma's next, huh? But I need to get to Narshe right away.
Your only road passes through Doma. I can take you there if you'd like. Just know that I may leave you at any time.
Take on a traveling companion? Absolutely.
Death is always just a step behind me.
I need to find something better than the complete whisper voice, but I'll work on that as we go along. Now, Shadow is a character who you will have access to a couple of times, but not as a consistent party member yet. And the reason why we waited with Sabin's scenario until last is because if you wait with Sabin until last, Shadow is going to stay with you longer, hopefully. Because he has a unique mechanic, this guy. Every battle, once it's over, after every single fight, there's a chance that he'll just fucking leave. Like, he'll just fucking go. And that can be bad. What? You're the clockmaker. I've been waiting for ages. No, I'm not the clockmaker. There she's hanging up on that wall over there. Ain't been ticking for a year now. 5 years, was it? Shucks, maybe it's been 10. I don't remember. Oh, got it. Lawnmower repairman. I couldn't provide worse service. Grass 50 feet high on back. No more let repairman. Fix that stove on the double. It'll be on your conscience when I freeze to death. Then you must be here to fix my bed? It's been creaking like all get out. You're the clock? Yeah, okay. So, this guy is crazy. So why am I showing him to you? Well, there's unfortunately going to be a point to that. Ow. Oh, for pity's sake, can you call yourself a repairman causing trouble just like a kid? Kid? I don't have any kids. Ugh, why'd you have to bring up kids? Makes me sick just thinking about it. I think it's time for you to leave now. Go on, get. I'll toss you out on the veldt too. I think this old chocobo is missing a few feathers. Notice he said 2. That's gonna come up. Anyway, taking Shadow with me and just hoping he doesn't run away after one fight. He's not likely to, but he could, and it wouldn't be great because I do actually have, there is like a minor boss fight that I need to deal with, which reminds me I should probably actually check on Sabin. Let's see, where the hell are the... There, abilities, actually. I have Raging Fist, I have Aura Cannon, and I have Meteor Strike. Right, I could probably use the Meteor Strike more. The Aura Cannon is powerful, and it's going to be important in a section later on in the game, but it's also a little bit tricky to pull off. Like those quarter circle things, hard to do on a Game Boy Advance, but also just on the D-pad that I'm using, and it doesn't make it any easier. There we go. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it hits pretty hard. It doesn't make it any easier to try and do it with like a control stick, even though I've got one. Because the game is a little bit finicky about what it will accept as a proper input. Okay, good. He should stay with me now. An Imperial camp. There are an awful lot of soldiers here.
Did you hear?
Oh, you meant... Shh, keep your voice down. If Kefka catches us, we're toast. They say Kefka's plotting to drive away General Leo so he can take over his position as general.
Don't even joke about something like that. If that freak becomes our general, I'll quit.
Shh, what if he hears you? You'll be locked up.
All right, all right. Uh-oh, here he comes. Quick, back to your post.
Hey, you! Keeping a sharp lookout,
Yes, sir, Kefka, sir. What a pleasant surprise. How are you today, sir?
Please spare me your petty small talk. Just do your job.
And don't let me catch you slacking or I'll make you regret being born.
Like, we'll listen to you, you pompous low.
What's wrong with that guy anyway? It's like General Leo got all the good qualities a man could have and Kefka got stuck with the rest. Shh, I just told you to keep it down. How many times are you gonna make me say it? You gotta be more careful. General Lee may be a decent man, but Kefka, that guy's twisted. Tell me about it.
You there! We're about to storm the castle. The two of you will join the assault squad. Get moving!
Gee, I wonder why that happened.
Ba 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 da 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 da.
Charge!
It's not the world's most intimidating assault, I know. It's hopeless. We can't keep them all out. So this is it. Wait! The battle is not yet lost. A noble warrior of a foreign land, a faithful retainer to his lord and master, he fears not even death. Cyan, an RPG character who looks like he's over 40. That's a rarity. If we can but fell their commander, they should break rank and withdraw. I shall meet him on the field of battle. Might take a while to figure out Cyan's voice, too. He has one of the best music themes, though. I like it so much. Anyway, let's just see if I can equip you with some slightly better stuff. So he's a samurai, which he's in a world that's entirely themed after European fantasy, but you know. Hello. I'll just show you what he can do. So Cyan has an ability called Bushido, which is basically you go into this menu and let it tick up until it hits the number that you want. And during that time, enemies, of course, can just punch you in the face a lot, so it's a risk and reward thing. But if you select a good one, you can get 4 attacks in a row like that. So it's pretty powerful. It, unfortunately, much like Sabin's blitz attacks, it's completely random who it targets. So sometimes it's better only to use it when there's one enemy on the field, basically. I am Cyan, retainer to the King of Doma. Ready thy axe. Anyway, this guy's a little bit tough. But he gets a little bit less tough if you hit him 4 times in the row in the face. Like so.
The captain's been defeated! Retreat!
Withdraw into the castle. We shall wait within its walls while our enemies grow tired without. And now, it's Metal Gear.
Yeah, it won't open. If I remember correctly, this one. Ow. Who's there? Uh-oh, must have heard that. I know I heard something. Oh, just a stupid cat. Right, if you kick it, the dog down there gets activated, and then you get into a combat encounter.
Which is a bit annoying.
So do I have any relics that I want to equip on Shadow, actually? Nope. Good doggy. Let's see. So if you get close to these guys... Damn it, get back out here. Can't remember if there's something inside the tent, but I want to check. Nope. Okay. Excuse me. Whew. General Leo, sir. The Domans appear to be playing a waiting game. So they're using their favorite strategy. General, we're ready to storm the castle as soon as you get the order. Patience. If we attack now, there will be too many unnecessary casualties. He's also... Not to talk about the problematic, but he's also, in his concept art and his official artwork, Leo is black. He's not black on his sprite. But, General, I'm prepared to lay down my life for the Empire at any time. You're from Miranda, are you not? I mean, yes, sir. I am. Why do you ask? You would have me go there and deliver the news of your passing to your family? What would I say when I handed them your sword? How could I even look at them? You're a human being before you're a soldier. Don't be so eager to throw away your life. Emperor Gestal wouldn't want you to die for nothing. Yes, sir. Again, he's a soldier from a town called Miranda. That comes up later, too. General Leo, sir. A carrier pigeon arrived from Emperor Gestal. What? The Emperor summons me. I must return at once. Understood, sir. I'll leave the rest in your hands. Yes, sir. Listen to me. Don't rush things. That's all I ask. Sir, leave it up to us, sir. I'm counting on you. So that's General Leo. He may be an enemy, but he seems like a decent man. I'm just gonna move Sabin up here because he's the one who's actually doing the talking. Once Leo is gone, I can turn this water into a flowing river of poison. Anyone who touches it will be pushing up daisies. I'm afraid the Emperor has called me back home. Try not to cause any trouble in my absence. I'll take care of things faster than you ever would. Nothing dirty, Kefka. They may be our enemies, but they're still human beings. Try not to forget that. We needn't show mercy to those who side with the returners. Which is good, because I never seem to have any of the stuff. Yes, you just go off and be a good little boy. Is the poison ready? But General Leo said... Leo's not here anymore. I'm in charge now. Fork it over. Some people are being held prisoner inside the castle. If anyone were to drink the water... Who cares? They're the ones who were stupid enough to get caught by the enemy.
You're inhuman.
Ah, pests at every turn. Guess I'll have to take care of you, too. Youch!
Kefka, wait!
Wait, he says. Do I look like a waiter?
Wait!
Oh, you just don't give up, do you?
This is not really... You can't really defeat Kefka at all here. It's just an event battle. He's gonna run away every time. And with the same joke.
Yeah, how long do you expect me to put up with this? Next time, I won't hold back.
Let's see. Can't... just gonna run around quickly, because I can't remember if there are any treasure chests that I want. Like, there isn't one inside the tent, right? No, okay. Then I'm remembering correctly that there are none.
Oh, gripe, this is getting tiresome. Hey, you! Handle the rest.
Gonna try and see if I can do the input for that one correctly. Because I need to practice that one a little bit for later, you see. Let's see. Damn it, I can't remember how to... I know there's an information screen you can bring up, but I can't... Okay. Do I need the shadow scroll? I don't really need the shadow scroll, but I am gonna throw a shuriken at that guy. Because they do mondo damage.
Nothing beats the sweet music of hundreds of voices screaming in unison.
So, Cyan! There's a great deal of activity in the Imperial camp. I think they may be preparing another assault.
Does the water not look a bit odd?
And this is where the game's ambitions run up against its actual graphical fidelity a little bit, in that this is genocide. What's happening is just indiscriminate, poisonous murder of dozens, if not hundreds of people. But the SNES, and indeed the Game Boy Advance, could only handle rendering so much. But still, like, talk about an ambitious thing to put in there. So, Cyan! It must be poison. What low-down, contemptible... We must warn the king! It's a little harder to control when they're running fast. To the king, with all haste! Yes, the throne room is just ahead. Throne. I'm not Irish. Ah, yes, the throne room. Your Highness!
Who's there?
Cyan, Your Excellency.
Oh, Cyan, my sight is failing. I cannot see your face.
Excellency, please, you must be strong.
Cyan, you've defended the realm since the days of my father before me. I thank you for your service. Forgive me. I failed to protect our kingdom.
No,
No, Excellency, the fault lies not with thee.
I fear for your family. Ugh, my chest burns with every breath.
Speak not, my lord, save thy strength.
Oh, to your family.
Excellency! Sir Cyan! There may still be survivors in the castle. Let's split up and search. This castle is going to be important later, too. Sir Cyan, we were too late. Here, too. Now I'm trying to remember, because I know there's like at least one item you can obtain here that's gonna be completely inaccessible if you don't get it now, but I can't remember if there's others. And that was that remedy I picked up earlier. Yeah, no, there isn't anything else, is there? I'll just... yeah, no. We have to do the thing. Elaine! Do not leave me, Elaine! This is unpardonable. Owain! No. No. This is not possible. This cannot be happening. I will not forgive them. The Empire must pay for this! I am Cyan, retainer to the King of Doma. Enemy, all men to your positions! Let me give you a hand! I know not thy name or allegiance, but I welcome thy aid. I can't control him in this fight. He just does whatever the hell he wants. Not that it matters that much. Oh, shit. Yeah, there will be no mercy for thee. I'm just gonna need to heal a little bit. But something to notice is, like, during this... Again, it switches shadow back to the front for some reason. Something to notice is that during the sequence with, like, the whole thing in Doma with Cyan finding his family, it, like... They were trying really hard to do as much as humanly possible using only a very limited set of animations that are available to these sprites. And for my money, it succeeds spectacularly on its own merits. These ones next? They're tougher than they would appear. Not that tough, though. And again, if I had taken the time, who poisoned the river? If I'd taken the time to level up on that loop in the Lathe River, Cyan would have been massively overpowered here. Look, I think we're gonna have to do this together. The thought had occurred to me as well. This one might fail. Nope, got it. Nice.
Damn it, I wanted him to hit the Templar. Oh well, or the officer, rather. Oh well, Cyan's got it. I am in thy debt. No need for thanks. I'm Sabin, from the Kingdom of Figaro. We should get out of here. But I must avenge my family and my countrymen. If we stick around any longer, we'll have an entire regiment down our throats. There they are, this way. Oh boy. Have an idea. Follow me. Sir Sabin, what manner of armored beasts might these be? I'll explain later. Just climb in. Sir Sabin, how does one manipulate these abominations? Oh, thou art getting to be quite a pain at... Great, now even I'm starting to talk like you. Listen, see that lever? The one right by your hand? Push it down. Sir Sabin, it appears to be in reverse? Yeah, come on. Hey, what do you think you're doing? I cannot stop this monstrosity! Okay, let's bust our way out of here. And we're back in Magitech armor. Like I said, it does a good job of not introducing things that it doesn't follow up on. We get to use these early on in the game, and then we get to use them again here. And I think that's... I don't think you get to use them again, ever. But, like, it's followed up on enough that it doesn't feel like it was just a pointless one-time thing. But, hey, these are things that actually exist in this world. And they exist as more than just a one-time intro cinematic gimmick kind of thing. Although they do remain profoundly overpowered. And that's that. Did you really think you got away? I don't know why I gave them weird sort of California American accents, but I just did. Okay, I think we should be safe now. So, how do we get to Narshe from here? Narshe? I believe the only route passes through the forest to the south, but... Alright, if we're going into the woods, I guess I won't be needing these scrap metal anymore. Let's get going. Okay, Shadow, please don't leave me. For those who know about this game, things are about to get exciting. I don't think we'll get to the exciting bit in this particular video because we're coming up on 45 minutes or so. So, I don't know if I'm gonna give you the good meme bit just yet. But if you're very good little boys and girls, and those in between, and also those who are neither, then... oh yes, you shall have the moment. I love this music so much. I have a, there's a soundtrack recording called... let me see if I can find it in my music library, actually. What's it called? Final Fantasy VI Grand Edition, and I have no idea where I found it, but it has the most beautiful rendition of this particular melody. If you can find it on YouTube, Final Fantasy VI Grand Edition, then look it up, because it's such a gorgeous melody when it's played with, like, strings and orchestra and everything. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna hit you in the face until you die again, Ghost. I do like that you can kill ghosts by punching them. in this game. That's the thing you can do. Let's see, it's up, right? This isn't like a labyrinth area, but it's a bit close. You can go around in circles here. And as you can see, this is where the aura cannon becomes important because the ghosts are undead and the aura cannon does extra damage to undead enemies. So if you're having trouble here, it's a good attack to use. Why, what is this? A train? I thought all of Doma's railways had been destroyed in the fighting. There could be survivors. Let's take a look inside. Hey! Looks like we can get through here. So, Sabin? We can't just wander around out here all day. We have to check inside. Sir Sabin! Don't worry, it'll only take a second. Sir Sabin! What in the world? We must leave at once. This is the Phantom train. It's moving. We must get off this train at once. Oh, out the door. The door won't open. I fear we are too late. What did you say this train was? It's the Phantom train. It carries the souls of the departed to their final destination. Wait a second. You're saying this train is giving us a one-way ride to the afterlife? Unless we find a way off, I'm afraid that is exactly where we will end up. Well, I'm afraid that's a trip I'm gonna have to pass on. If it won't let us off, we'll have to stop it ourselves. Let's make for the engine. I love the music on the Phantom train, by the way. And here we encounter our first bomb. Fortunately, not a very dangerous enemy, unless it gets to explode. In which case, it is a very dangerous enemy. What's with this guy? He seems to want to accompany us. Bring the ghost along? Yeah, sure, why not? I have a ghost friend now. Hello, ghost friend. But mostly what I want back here is the save point. And this guy. I'm this train's conductor. What business brings you here? The Phantom train ferries the souls of the departed to the other side. Once the souls arrive, they're granted their eternal rest. You want to stop the train? Search every corner of the engineer's compartment? I'm sure there's a way. Might these be timetables? These? They're all blank. This train carries the deck to the afterlife. It's a little tough to be making timetables with as much conflict in the world as there is right now. Wonder what this is for. Why don't we just see what happens if we pull it? So, Sabin, I think it would be best not to touch that. Oops, my hand must have slipped. What? Oh, thou art truly insufferable. Cyan, you're not scared, are you? What does that mean? It's not as though I have an aversion to machines. Or try to stay away from them as much as humanly possible. Or anything like that. Cyan, so you're afraid of machines. Yeah, what gave it away? He is afraid of machines and it's adorable. Anyway, I'm afraid, dear children, this is where our adventure for the day must come to a stop because the Phantom train is a little bit long and there aren't going to be a lot of save points and we don't have time to get to the really good bit. So that's going to have to be next time. So do come back for that. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do either. This is what I wanted to do. Oops. I guess you saw me watching esports on the other screen. Well, not so much watching it because my OBS was covering it up, but I had it open. And I have all of the Twitch streams of, like, Legends of Runeterra open because they need to let me in so I can see things and make content. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, Patreon, blah, 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 all that stuff.
Thank you.